If you are a black man and you intend to vote for Donald Trump, and if you continue in that pursuit after watching this video, despite what I'm going to show you in this video, and yet you continue to say, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump no matter what, then you're not voting for Trump now because of any good you expect. You are now just being willfully blind. You're now at this point, you're just caught up in his cult because it is not for any personal tangibles. I promise you that. Watch this video. Watch it. Watch it. Let's go. Hello, everybody. I am Attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Each and every week, we bring you at least one of these legal analyses of some trending story regarding politics, policies, personalities, or pop culture to empower you with the information you need to defy this unjust legal system and to nullify systemic racism. If that interests you, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Click the bell so you'll get notified every time we drop one of these videos. Now, if you have an African-American male child in public school, go to Amazon, get a copy of this book. Trust me, you need it in your library. You will thank me later. All right, let's get into this video. I'm going to share with you right now something that if you're hell-bent on voting for Donald Trump and you are a black man and you are still going to vote for Trump, after what I am about to show you in just a matter of seconds, you're just under Trump's spell. You're just following a cult because there is no sane, logical, rational reason to justify that vote. Or maybe you just hate Kamala because she's a female, because she was a prosecutor. But even what you're going to see now, even those things don't justify what you are about to see. And the best part of this is it comes straight from Trump himself. Let's look at this. Now, what Trump did was he created a Project 2025 list for Kamala because he got pummeled. After folks found out about the Project 2025 list that he has in place to implement if he gets elected. So now that so teed him off and rubbed him wrong. So he created a list, a Project 2025 list for Kamala. And this list tells you everything you need to know about what he intends to do for black people and what Kamala intends to do for black people. And the first thing I want you to see here, the first thing is if you go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth item on this list, he says that Kamala's Project 2025 includes taxpayer-funded reparations. She supports taxpayer-funded reparations. So there he tells you that Kamala is for reparations. Where does he get that from? He gets it from Kamala because she has said so many times. In many interviews, she has said so. And he knows that that is one of her agenda items. But the flip side is, it's not one of his. He has no intention of giving black people reparations. Hello, FBA people. Hello, ADOS. Hello, Philip Scott. Hello, all of you folks. Hello, are you listening? Trump is talking. He's talking. He's letting us know where he is. He will not and does not support reparations. Doesn't support them. Kamala does. So now when these folks have been cramming down your throats that you don't vote until you get reparations, that must mean that you will not vote GOP. You will not vote for Trump because he's now on the record saying that he does not support reparations. But Kamala does. Her chief arch enemy tells us that she is for reparations. And like I said, she's already said she's for reparations. So this theory that you don't vote unless you get reparations is preposterous. It is irrational. It is totally nonsense. And it took Trump to show how irrational it is. It took him. I guess you don't believe me. You don't believe me. I guess I make too much sense for you sometimes. Well, here's Trump, some of you all's leader, and he's telling you, I will not be getting behind anything having to do with reparations, but Kamala is, and she will. What more do you need to hear? I mean, what more do you need to hear? Put it this way. As bad as you all hate the Democratic Party, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm an independent, but I know who has stood with the African American community for the last 100 years. It has not been Trump's party, the GOP. Now, don't come in the comments about, well, it was the Democrats who enslaved blacks. It was the Democrats who, because I've explained, I don't know how many times, I've educated my audience. They know that there was a Southern strategy that the Dixiecrats and the Democratic Party went over to the GOP. We know that. Don't come with that nonsense. This is not like other channels. I am an attorney. I'm a licensed lawyer. I'm a civil rights lawyer. I know about these issues. I have been studying these issues 30 years. I've educated my audience. Just go back and watch my library of videos, and you will see where I have schooled them on the Southern strategy. So you can't come with that nonsense. All right? So he's not going to do anything for reparations. The GOP is not. I mean, they got rid of affirmative action. They are trying to get rid of all types of DEI. These are not the folks that you will ever get 1 cent of reparations from. No, not the GOP, not that Republican Party. This is not the Republican Party that fought to end slavery. This is the Republican Party of Jefferson Davis, of Robert E. Lee. Okay? Go learn who those people were. If the African American community is going to get reparations, it will come through the Democratic Party, who is on the record supporting reparations. Okay? Now, the Democratic representatives in the state of California, I have read what happened with that. They did what I would describe as what they thought was simply the practical thing to do. And they basically pulled the plug on what they had gotten started there so that they could live to fight another day. Okay? There's sometimes when practicalities just kick in and there's nothing you can do about it, especially when you're dealing with the governor who is saying one thing with his mouth, but doing some other things with his actions. All right? So they pulled the plug so that they could fight another day. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. Disappointed because I was cheering them on as well, but I understand. I'm an attorney. I understand sometimes the law will not, or politicians will not allow you to get what you want just yet, but you got to keep working at it. Slavery, it took a long time to end slavery. It took a long time to end Jim Crow. And they had to keep going for it. They had to keep working for it. And that's the way this fight for reparations is. We have a lot of opposition We have a lot of opposition for reparations, but we're going to keep fighting. And the best party as of right now, unless something drastically happens, the best party for Black Americans to get reparations is the Democratic Party, the same party that passed legislation to break the back of Jim Crow. Okay? So if we're going to get reparations, those reparations will come through the Democratic Party. But there are some other items on this list as well that tells us everything we need to know about where Trump is and where Kamala is. Let's go back to the list. So we see also that Trump says that Kamala Harris will replace police with social workers. And let me tell you, in many situations, that is a good thing. I have represented families whose loved ones have been killed by the police. And what was needed was a social worker or someone who could help the person they killed with some mental illness. For example, Sonia Massey, perfect example. They didn't need a trigger-happy, racist cop who shot Sonia Massey through the face. No, they needed someone who understood her issues, her mental illness issues. So if Kamala will replace some of these officers with social workers and psychologists, bravo, 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 bravo. Especially when Trump says that he wants to give them criminal immunity so that they cannot be prosecuted for shooting Black people through the face. You see, this tells us all we need to know. Black man, you better be very sure of what you are signing up for if you pull the lever for Donald Trump, because he's telling you, he's not hiding this. He is putting it out there. All right, what else does he say? He says that she will pack the U.S. Supreme Court. Bravo, 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 bravo. Because we need progressive federal judges who will not do things like destroy the rest of the Voting Rights Act or the Civil Rights Act or the Fair Housing Act. We need progressive judges who understand and respect our civil rights, unlike the right-wing judges that Trump has appointed. This tells you everything you need to know. What else does he say Kamala will do? Cashless bail for violent criminals. Now, that's a lie. If you read Kamala Harris's book, she was really, really tough on violent criminals. I do not believe that she will do cashless bail for violent criminals. However, she wrote the book on Smart on Crime, and I do believe that she would be open to cashless bail for nonviolent criminals. So Trump lied on Kamala right here. But it does suggest that Kamala would be open to cashless bail for nonviolent criminals. And as an attorney, that is very important because I, over the years, have seen many people stay in jail simply because they didn't have $30, $40, $50. Whereas people with means are able to get out immediately, but poor people stay there because they don't have the $30, the $40, the $50, the $100, the $200, or $500 to get out of jail. Reminds me of Sandra Bland, who reportedly was in jail because she didn't have enough to do a simple $500 bail. So bravo for Kamala. Now, the flip side with all of this is that Trump would not do cashless bail for nonviolent offenders. Trump would continue to pack the court with right-wing U.S. federal judges. All right, what else? He says that she will enforce racist affirmative action. First, affirmative action is not racist, but bravo for Kamala for enforcing affirmative action. Do you see here that Trump is no good for Black people? And Kamala, according to Trump, has this really strong Black agenda. Where is he getting it from? From the things that she has said. She has said all of this in her speeches. She has said every bit of this. But you have listened to these pro-black imposters and black conservatives who have completely turned your mind against all Democrats and Kamala Harris. And that, I'm telling you, is about to cost you if you help this man get elected or reelected. Because this should tell you everything you need to know. He said that she will require approval to buy a gun, government approval. That is a good thing. And this is coming from me, a strong defender of the Second Amendment. As a matter of fact, go over to my YouTube channel, Armed and Informed, and you'll see me shooting all kinds of guns. I'm a strong defender of the Second Amendment. As an African-American person, I believe every law-abiding African-American person should be armed. But that's the thing. Violent people and people with mental illness do not need firearms. Absolutely not. No, 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 no. And so there should be universal background checks. And even Kamala said the other day herself, she said twice since the debates, that she's a gun owner, her and her husband. And she also said on the record, if someone breaks in her house, they're going to get shot. So she is not anti-gun. That's a lie. She is anti as I am, and I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I am against violent people owning firearms. This tells you everything that you need to know about the differences between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, and that he is not for us. She is. And why is he not for us, black man, and some of you black women? Because he's a white supremacist, and he supports a white supremacist party. And white supremacists are not in the business of doing anything nice and favorable for black people. This is common sense. I don't know how your thinking got so sort of messed up here, but this is just common sense. So, after watching this video, if you continue to support Donald Trump, there's no hope for you. Because he's letting you know he's not for a whole lot of the things that would benefit us as black people, and yet you still support him. There's just no hope for you. That's it. There's no hope for you. You're just willfully blind at this point. That's the only thing. You're just willfully blind, or you are just extremely misogynistic in the fact that you just cannot vote for a woman, a black woman, which is weird because many of you were raised by black women, because a lot of black children are born out of wedlock. And so oftentimes it is strong black women like Kamala Harris who have raised the children, including the sons. So I wonder, would you have a problem voting for your mother or your sister or your aunts? I just wonder. All right. So there it is. There it is. Even Trump says that Kamala Harris is a supporter of reparations. She will put progressives on the federal bench. She will give cashless bail, not for violent offenders. Trust me, read her books. You'll see what I'm saying. That she will enforce affirmative action, and that she will require government approval, universal background checks, which is very important for our community because we have a lot of gun violence in our community, in the African-American community. So we need to be diligent about keeping guns out of the hands of dangerous people. Bravo to Kamala Harris for supporting all of these initiatives. The others are lies, and one or two of them, I don't know. I don't know her position on that, so I won't opine on those. All right? Now, thank you for listening and watching this video. I am Attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Until the next time, peace.